Hi,
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm
Thank you.
doing well. What is your name?
My name is Shaheen.
Shaheen?
Yes,
Nice to meet you, Shaheen. My name is Melissa.
nice to meet you too.
Where are you calling from? What country are you in?
I'm in India.
Nice. What part of India? I don't know much of India, but I know a little bit.
I'm from Maharashtra.
Okay. And have you lived there your whole life?
Yes.
Okay. I am from California in the United States. I went to school on the East Coast of the United States and then lived all over. And right now I'm in Scotland in the United Kingdom.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular you wanted to work on, or do you just want to chat?
Uh, I have checked your profile. You are working as a nurse.
Yeah.
So I want to learn vocab related to your field,
Okay.
clinical.
Okay. Are you in the medical field? Are you a nurse? Or
No,
maybe?
no,
Okay.
no. I'm running my school, but I
Okay.
just thought that something changed.
That sounds good. Yeah. Uh, is that there's so many things that I could teach you. Do you want to choose a subject and we can talk about it? Like any medical health subject and I can teach you some words?
General. When we go
Okay.
to doctor or someone is sick in our home, or when we
Okay.
take to the doctor.
Okay.
That
I'm gonna go through some basic words, and then when there's one that you want to dive deeper into and talk about more words with, we can because that's a very general thing. So I can say that if someone's feeling ill or sick, or you might know the term under the weather. Have you heard under the
yeah,
weather?
yeah, I
Then
knew it.
yeah, good. Okay, then you go to the doctor and then I'm trying to keep it very like to the very basic. Okay, so then you know that they'll check your temperature, right?
Yes, I
So
know.
we say check your temperature, and they'll take your blood pressure, and they will take your pulse, like
Yeah,
your
it's
pulse.
so basic. It's so basic. I
Okay,
just want to learn about some disease or some advanced vocab. Whatever you are telling me, those things are basic. I knew about it.
okay. How about let's go more complicated? So we could talk about diabetes. We could talk about high blood pressure, hypertension. We could talk about cancer. We could talk about how. I mean, we could talk about vaccinations. We could talk about just if you pick one, I can tell you about it.
I just want to learn general, like, how can I say? Right now, I can't decide exactly,
That's
but
okay.
okay, related to current situation, pandemic.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's talk about COVID, coronavirus, novel coronavirus 19. Yeah. So COVID is short for coronavirus. Yeah. And we call it a coronavirus because of the structure of the molecule of the virus, right? Uh, there are many coronaviruses in the world and in history, but most of them result in you just feeling like you have the common cold and they aren't as deadly. But the fatality rate of coronavirus is higher because it has more of a severe effect on your body, and we believe that it affects your lungs and it also affects your immune system through inflammation. And so that is the reason that people get put on medication for their lungs, and they also get put on a medication group called steroids. And so the steroids help with inflammation, and the other medication helps with the lungs.
Okay,
Uh,
you are in the medical field, so I would like to ask you a question
yeah.
that in pandemic is all over the world. So I want to know that comparatively, India is strong than other countries because mortality rate of India is very low
Mm-hmm.
than other countries. So I want to know that is it due to our Indians' immune system is strong or some other reason?
You know, that is a really good question. And I think that if we had the exact answer for certain, everyone else would be trying to do what Indians do. We don't know. We don't know for certain. They do think that there might be something about in India that you've been and in other countries that have low that the community, that the people there aren't affected as gravely, as seriously. They do believe there might be something with them having been the people being exposed to something similar but not as dangerous to COVID earlier on. So exactly like you're saying, that people in various places, especially it seems to be the Asian countries, yeah, might have already experienced something like COVID in the past, and it was never, no one made a big deal because it wasn't as severe. And so when people who have already had something, another coronavirus similar to COVID, get exposed to the virus, their body already has some sort of innate, and that means like built in, innate ability to respond to the virus more quickly than someone who's never seen anything like it. And so it's only a theory. It's not a fact yet. We don't know it for certain, but it's absolute. What do I think? I think it's a good theory. I think it makes sense. I think that people who have been exposed to many viruses from a young age in little doses builds up their immune system. And I think that that makes a lot of sense because it's some of the countries that are having lower fatality rates of COVID. It's not because they have better healthcare. You know, so in some cases it is, but in other cases, say, for example, Cambodia. Yeah, Cambodia does not have a better healthcare system than say Canada, right? But they have a lower or the US, but they have a lower fatality rate. And it might be because they've been exposed to a virus similar enough that their bodies already know how to react to it. I think it'll be fascinating to find out in a few years once we have all the research done if this is true. I think it's a good theory though, and I think it makes more sense than other theories. So that's my opinion. I think that I have a lot of opinions about COVID. I think that the US is making really big mistakes and handling it really, really poorly. I'm really frustrated with the way the government's handled it. And I don't think that they're taking into consideration psychology. I think that there's laws that make sense for the virus, but they don't make sense for how people respond to them. And I think that the government should have handled it differently because now we have a bunch of people rebelling. and it could have been prevented if it wasn't so chaotic. But we had Trump over here saying this, and then the states over here saying that, and it became really messy, and people were told too many different things in too many different ways, and they gave up, and they stopped trusting the government. And I think that was a big mistake of the government for not seeing that coming and doing something for the public health to prevent it. So that's my frustration.
Okay. You are working in a health department, so I would like to ask you how to take care of our health, and tell me a little bit about diet.
Yeah.
To become to build a strong immune system.
Yeah. Do you want me to help you practice words, or do you want me to just talk about it and you can listen?
Yeah, no, I also want to communicate.
Okay. So tell me about what you're doing to be healthy in your diet right now.
Right now, I avoid deep fried food.
Me too. It's so good.
Then I eat max vegetables.
Okay, that's good.
And, but spices is a part of our life, so it's a little bit difficult to avoid spices.
Mm-hmm.
And we cannot survive without spices. So
Yeah.
I eat spices. One more thing, I avoid little bit, not much, sweets.
Okay. That's a hard one. That one is hard for me. So for your diet, obviously, as you know, eating vegetables is very important. Sometimes the problem with vegetables is that we cook them with too much oil. And then because they taste better with oil. Yeah. And so it's a balance of trying to cook with the vegetables with water and oil and not just oil. That makes a big difference. Seasoning and spices are great. So there's actually some of the hot spices that are really good for your health. It's the salt that's not very good for health. It's not very good for your blood pressure. But lots of vegetables are very important. Do you eat meat?
Yes.
Okay. So that's another thing.
I think it's not good for health.
Yeah, it's good in moderation. We always say that, right? It's good in moderation. How many times a day or a week do you think you eat meat?
Once in a week.
Oh, okay. So not so often. Yeah. In America, we eat meat every single day.
Oh, no, I can't. If I ate today and tomorrow you'll ask me to eat, I can't.
Yeah, it's just too much.
Yeah.
Do you drink coffee or tea?
Both.
Okay, me too. I try for my health to help me sleep better. I try to not drink anything with caffeine after about 1 or 2 p.m. I cut myself off and I say no more. Otherwise, I have trouble sleeping and staying
How many
asleep.
coffees or tea is good in a day for health?
They say 1 or 2 is okay. It depends on how strong your coffee is. So some coffee is a lot of water and a little bit of coffee beans, and then it's not so bad. But something like what the Italians drink, the espressos, those are very strong, and you should really only have 1, maybe 2. If you have problems with your heart going too fast, or you have issues with anxiety, then you shouldn't drink more than 1. Okay. So, I love the taste of it, and I like that it helps wake me up, but it also makes it hard to fall asleep. Do you exercise?
Yes, not hard exercise. I just do walking in the evening, and in the morning I was used to do breathing exercises, but since last few days I'm not doing it.
It's hard to get in the habit and stay in the habit of doing something like meditation or walking.
Yes, walking is my habit.
That's good.
But in the morning routine, sometimes it disturbs because sleeping patterns. If I sleep late, then it's difficult to wake up early in the morning, and then our routine work starts. So it's difficult to manage with time.
Yeah, I agree. You can get, we use the expression thrown off. Sometimes you can have a change to your schedule and it throws you off your routine, or it throws off your routine, and that means it puts it off the track.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that happens to me too. I try to do breathing exercises and meditate, and I'll do really well for a few months. I do it every single morning. And then a few days in a row, I get busy. Maybe I have to go do something first thing in the morning, and I say tomorrow. And next thing I know, it has been at least a month since I've meditated now. And I know it's good for me. Especially with all the things going on in the world. I know it's good to try and quiet my mind, but I've gotten out of the habit. I will try again. This conversation has inspired me. I will meditate tomorrow morning.
Sure. It's good for peace of mind.
It is. And all of the studies on meditation and breathing exercises show that it helps with your heart, it helps with your happiness, and it helps you live longer. So it's a good habit to get into.
We just talk about it, but when come to the practice, sometimes we fail to do.
Exactly. So tomorrow I will. Will you meditate or do deep breathing tomorrow?
I don't know what will I do, but I'll do something.
Okay. It looks like our time is almost up. We only have 20 more seconds. So it was really nice to meet you. If you think of other health things that you want to talk about, you can message me ahead of time before class, and it will give me some time to prepare and think about it so that I can have more words for you.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you. Bye, Shane.
Thank you. Okay, bye.